What if I told you that the most powerful tech company in the world might be starting to collapse from the inside? Apple. Yes, the same Apple behind your iPhone, your AirPods, your MacBook, might be entering its most dangerous chapter yet. But here's the scary part. Most people have no idea. Have you noticed the signs? A stock price that's been falling for months. Quiet exits at the top levels. Massive legal threats. New products that promise a lot, but arrive late. And a global AI race where Apple is, strangely, the slowest runner. So the big question is, what's happening inside Apple? And more importantly, should you be worried? Let's dive in. It all started quietly. In the last few months, Apple's stock has dropped by over 20%. That's almost $1 trillion in market value. That's not just a dip. That's a warning. And now, executives are leaving. Not just one or two. Nearly half of Apple's top team is stepping down this year. Jeff Williams, considered the most likely person to take over as CEO one day? Gone. Hardware leader? Gone. Chief of AI infrastructure? Also gone. These aren't background figures. These are the minds behind the iPhone, the Mac, and the Apple Watch. The ones who've steered Apple through its most successful decade. Let me ask you, if the leaders of your company all left at once, would you feel safe about the future? That's the fear inside Apple right now. So who's left to take the wheel? Tim Cook is still CEO. But he's already in his 60s. And the people once seen as his replacements are gone. Worse, there's no clear plan. No official heir. No big vision. Just silence. That kind of vacuum at the top? It's dangerous. Apple's not just a tech company. It's a machine that needs precision. Remove too many pieces at once, and things fall apart. But leadership is just one part of the problem. Let's talk about something even more urgent: AI. Right now, every tech giant on Earth is racing to dominate artificial intelligence. Google, Meta, OpenAI, Microsoft, they're releasing tools, models, assistants, they're already integrated into your daily life. And Apple? Still struggling with Siri. They just introduced something called Apple Intelligence. A fancy name for AI that still doesn't impress experts. Most features won't even arrive until late 2025 or 2026. And developers say the tools are limited. Some early demos even failed live. Now ask yourself, can a company survive the next 10 years if it's years behind in AI? Because AI isn't just about voice assistants. It's the foundation of tomorrow's devices, apps, workflows, even security. And right now, Apple is behind. They're trying to catch up. Rumors say Apple's considering buying AI startups. Mistral, Perplexity, even looking at licensing deals with OpenAI. But here's the thing. Money can't buy time. And right now, Apple is late to the party. This is why even Apple fans are nervous. But let's switch gears. Because while the top is shaking, the company is about to drop a wave of new products. And I mean a massive wave. Apple is preparing to release over 15 new devices by the end of this year. That's more than usual. It includes iPhone 17, 17 Air, 17 Pro, and Pro Max, a new low-cost Apple TV with a built-in camera, new iPads, a redesigned Apple Watch, the MacBook Pro M5, and even a foldable iPhone prototype that could launch in 2026. Sounds exciting, right? But wait. Let me ask you this. When a company drops 15 products in one go, are they innovating? Or panicking? Because some insiders say this isn't about excitement. It's about survival. Apple needs to prove it's still leading. Not coasting. Not copying. Take the foldable iPhone. Samsung released its first foldable years ago. Google followed. Even small brands have entered the space. Apple? Still testing. Still tweaking. Still waiting. The foldable Apple phone will likely cost over $2,000. Will people pay? Maybe. But arriving this late, it might be too little, too late. And that cheaper Apple TV? It's a smart move, targeting Amazon Fire TV and Google Chromecast. It'll be just $99. But here's the twist. It has gesture control and built-in FaceTime. It doesn't need a remote. You control it with your hands and your voice. That could change the game. But again, we've seen bold promises from Apple before. Remember the Touch Bar, or Live Text, or even Apple Maps when it launched? Great ideas that didn't really deliver. So now the question is, can Apple still surprise us? Let's talk about the iPhone 17 for a moment. It's coming this September. Rumored to have a stronger titanium frame, better cameras, new, AI-driven features. But is that enough? Because today's smartphone market is stuck. Most phones look the same. Updates are minor. And people aren't upgrading like they used to. So now Apple's betting on a redesign and new naming system. Air, Pro, Pro Max. But will the name change the game? And behind all this is a new design language called liquid glass. It makes everything feel smoother. Transitions, colors, icons. But that's design polish. The real question is, what can your iPhone do tomorrow that it couldn't do yesterday? That's where Apple Intelligence is supposed to come in. It'll let Siri summarize your messages, write emails, edit photos, help you plan your day. But here's the catch. Most of those features only work on newest devices. And they're not fully functional yet. Which means, even if you buy the iPhone 17, you might not feel the AI magic for a while. And then there's the headset. Vision Pro. It launched earlier this year, with incredible visuals. But at a $3,500 price tag, adoption has been slow. Apple's trying again, with a cheaper model expected in 2026. Powered by the M5 chip. But again, Apple is walking a fine line. They need to innovate, without losing their core users. Now add one more twist: legal trouble. The EU has fined Apple €500 million for anti-competitive behavior in the App Store. That's just one case. The US is investigating their control over default apps. Japan, India, South Korea, all looking into Apple's tight grip. So here's the real question: is Apple still the future? Or are we witnessing a slow decline, hidden behind sleek presentations and new devices? Apple was once the underdog, the rebel. Now, it's the establishment. And when you're the biggest company in the world, every step is watched. Every flaw is magnified. They've delivered magic before. The iPhone, the Mac, the Apple Watch, even AirPods. But now, they face a storm of problems: executive exits, falling behind in AI, delayed innovation, legal fire, and growing pressure from users who want more than design updates. So what happens next? Let me paint two futures. In future number 1, Apple turns it around. They launch the foldable phone on time. Their AI becomes smarter than anything out there. Vision Pro becomes affordable. And the Apple TV becomes the center of your home. Stock rebounds. Confidence returns. In future number 2, Apple keeps sliding. AI delays continue. Executives keep leaving. Lawsuits get worse. Users lose trust. And one day, people say, "Apple, yeah, I remember when they were on top." So which one will it be? Here's the truth. It depends on what they do next, and how fast they move. Apple still has power, money, talent. But what they need most now is courage. The courage to reinvent, not just update. So let me ask you one final question. If Apple disappeared tomorrow, would the tech world feel the same? Think about it. Leave a comment below. Which of these products are you watching? iPhone 17? Apple TV? Foldable phone? Or none of them? And if you want to follow Apple's next chapter, subscribe now. Because the next 12 months might decide the future of the most powerful company in the world.